I got a feeling I'm about to get put on. I got a feeling that something finna take off. I got a feeling, and it won't be too much longer. Got a feeling coming up on the.
Ready for it.
Like we always do about this time, I am Cornbread Capone, and this is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. And today, our guest is OG Scrap. What's going on with it, brother?
All right, what's up with the cornbread, man? Good to see you, homie. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just holding it down.
Yes, sir. Well, first question I'm gonna ask you is, when did this musical journey begin for you? When did you decide that you were gonna do music and take it serious?
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, I mean, as soon as I came out the womb, man, I mean, I feel like it's something that like music, I don't see it like something I got into, but I see it like something that got into me. You feel what I'm saying? Like I ain't really had no choice and I was born with it. I guess it was more like to me it was I mean like an act of acknowledgement, like that I saw music and I recognized music inside of me, and I decided to go ahead and make a move with it. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was a necessity for my expression, so that's how I got into it, man.
Yeah. And to date, how many projects have you released?
Oh man, I released about 5 projects, man. You know what I'm saying? Go get that Texas Chainsaw Mixtape Massacre. My first album was Revolution Evolution. And that Will Work for Food was my second album. That Chainsaw Mixtape Massacre was a compilation jump with the Click, and the Never Give Up was also a compilation with the eminent pugilist artists at the time, under Pugilist Records.
Okay. And
It's still out there. And by the way, it's still out there. So y'all go get that. Go get that Revolution Evolution, that Real Record Food. That Never Give Up. And I got one album with Bizarre Royale, who was signed to Bloodline Entertainment with DMX. And after we did a tour with DMX, we ended up doing an album together. So get that Scrap That in Bizarre Royale too.
man, like I had no idea that you work with, DMX. How was that? What was that
Oh
experience?
man. I mean, I can tell you it was an experience, man. It's an honor to be involved with anything with one of these legends in the game, man. Rest in peace to DMX. I mean, I thought there was an honorable. I mean, I had a good time, and I mean, we didn't finish the tour because DMX is doing DMX type things. But you know what I'm saying? It was our love, man, and you know what I mean. I had a time of my life, and man, I appreciate the opportunity that was extended to me, and you know what I'm saying? Shout out to DMX. Shout out to Bizarre Royale again. And shout out to Bill Bunn, Black Girls Rock. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bill Bunn.
Yeah, and you have an extensive history with down south legends as well. You know what I'm
Indeed,
saying?
indeed. Mm-hmm.
You know,
What?
you from Houston,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
south side of Houston to be
Yes,
exact.
sir. I'm from
So that
Scrooster, baby. Scrooster,
right.
baby. Go down.
So that entails DJ Screw, that entails Lil Kiki, that's
Mm,
hard.
mm,
Podine. Uh
mm.
oh man,
Yeah,
it's a
Paul
long
Dana.
line of, what I'm saying. If you
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way we could possibly sit here and talk about everybody, but
No, indeed, indeed.
if there's a moment or if there's a standout moment that you had with one of those legends.
Well, the
uh
standout moment to me was you know what I'm saying, when OG Tubba introduced me to Screw. And so, you know, we was moving around, you know, freestyling, hitting the blocks. I started writing some full songs at the time, and got in the studio a couple of times. Shout out to Buck, DJ Buckshot, and the Dark Side, Papa. Hey man, I know he on lock for life, man. But shout out to OG Scrap when I shot you out, homie. You already know what it is, man. Yeah, but that was my first. When I met Screw, man, it was such an honor, you know. And then to know Screw and be around because I'm just in the hood. And the South Side was blowing at the time. So, what I mean? Just moving around and wrecking and shaking hands with a few people, Big Mike, Podina, Hawk and the rest of them boys, Well, I'm from the hood, so from the South Side, man, it's like I'm connected to the South Side experience. You feel me? I ain't trying to sell nobody like, like I'm best friends with all these people, but I am the South Side experience, man. And I'm from Screwston and I hold it down like we all do. And man, that was my time, man. I really enjoyed meeting Screw. And maybe the biggest thing I did with Screw is hit the Screw house and put some wreckage down. That was fun. But the best thing that happened with Screw is chopping it up with Screw and Screw saying, "Hey, look here, man, we about to do something together, man. I want to push you as an artist." And then it was like, how life go, man. Right after that, man, rest in peace to DJ Screw, man. Shout out to a legend.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I want to ask you, man, because music, I remember that era like it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I had maybe just moved to Houston, so that South Side experience that you talk about, I
Mm-hmm.
kind of got to have a front row seat and kind of sit back and watch that experience and understand why it went that way, why the music was that that way, why the artists were that way, why the city was that way. So I had a
Yeah.
chance to watch a lot. But what I want to ask you is, music was one way at that time, and I
Yeah.
remember that. We all know that music changed going forward. In
Uh-huh.
particular, past 2005, 2006 is when
Okay.
it changed. How do you
Mhm.
feel about change that happened in music?
Well, I think, we've been seeing a change come for a minute in hip hop. And some things I like about the changes and some things I don't. One of the biggest things that I don't like is that, we had this argument right now, or a debate or a discussion about who created hip hop right now. Did foundational Black Americans or did other groups create hip hop? And I'm on the side where I know that we created hip hop right here in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Niggas here created hip hop, and we shared that with the rest of the world, and we allowed other cultures to become a part of it and add their pieces to what we were creating, but that doesn't make it their creation, right? Like if I go to the Mexican taco stand and I say, "Hey man, drop this little whoop the woo and put some of this slap your mama in your taco," you feel me? That don't mean I'm now the taco man, you feel me? I didn't create, the taco shop, you feel me? I'm just there working. And so, what I mean? I feel like we invited a lot of people into the hip hop house, and that these people that lost their mind. You know what I mean? They try to tell us what we gonna do. When we need to hang it up, what kind of music we need to make. And I feel like Martin, man, I'm gonna throw that bitch ass up at the highs. You know what I'm saying?
I,
That's
can
how I
I
feel
can
about it, man.
I can relate to that totally, but there's another discussion. Well, actually, we talked about this,
Okay.
but I feel like this needs to be heard because
Mm,
I don't hear this about no other genre of music.
yeah.
Uh, Rap, for some reason, people place an age limit on it. At first I thought it was because the art form has only been around 50 years compared to others. But that I watched it. I watched this go from being a slight towards men in particular to being used by a younger generation to say, "Oh, you too old, past a certain age, you shouldn't be rapping no more." When realistically, the best rappers are in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s because they have the most style, the most
Already.
skill, more likely to
Mm-hmm.
create
Mm-hmm.
material. So, with that being
Uh-huh.
said,
Indeed.
I just want to ask you about how the people who put age limits
Well,
on rap music.
yeah, man, my opinion on that is that, for me, it's obviously one of those things that I'm talking about people coming into the hip hop house and telling us what to do. And we know that they're telling us what to do so that they can make a quick turnaround. They bring an artist in, you know what I mean? And They offer him some weird deals and some weird contracts. You feel me? And then they want him to see the little fame, and then they want to move him over so they can go ahead and bring somebody else in. So all this murdering and killing of the hip hop artists and whoop de woo that we doing it because people in the house telling us how to live, and they giving us a few little things to fight over, and we fighting over that. We need to just throw them out the house. You know what I mean? Like setting a number on what we do and how we create. Now, if you think about any other culture, they don't let us come in and take over their culture. So, like, if you take Chinese people, if you look at, I mean, even if you ain't talking about Orient, you just let's look at martial arts. Now, if you know your history, then you'll know that we actually created the martial arts, right? But most people don't know that. But when you look at a movie or something, the sensei, the old man, that's the one that's giving boys the business. He got the white beard, he jumping in there, he do shit that the young ones can't do. Cause he the master, he the sensei. You know what I'm saying? He's allowed to keep on working on his style and get better. And for us, they tell us that, hey, this situation here, just when you get this old, that's it. Hang it up. Now you old. And then we turn on each other. You know what I'm saying? And it was something that happened, I was making I was doing some work with Dead Prez and M1 Stickman and some things we were doing with Koch at the time. And I ended up doing a song with an artist, and I had dropped some bars on the song, and they had a discussion about that, like with the execs and stuff like that. And the discussion with me was, hey, you can't put this conscious content on the song because niggas don't listen to that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't positive. Niggas don't know how to think. You feel me? Then they was like, oh, your bars are too long. So, you know what I'm saying? We can't do that because niggas have limited, limited perception. Like,
Well, I want to ask you this. I want to ask you about the people who put age limits on rap music and how you feel
okay.
about
Already, man, I just feel like it's like what I was just talking about before about, I mean, people coming into the house hip hop and, what I'm saying, trying to take over and tell us how to move and what to do and when to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, hold up, this our crib. You feel me? So I understand like the way the game is set up, the business model. It's not conducive. It's not about our culture. The business model not about our culture because they separated the business from the culture. And that ain't the way we do it. You feel me? So now what they want to do is bring an artist in and then, replace him as soon as they give him a bad contract. They know who's bad from the beginning, or limit him in some type of way with the streaming. And then, what I mean, another person come in and then all this killing that we doing to each other, what I mean, that's just gonna get a lane of new artists to be able to bring into the game. And it's like, I mean, we don't get a chance to really chew on the artistry of what we do and get better at what we do. So, I mean, I feel like the same thing, like get out our house with that noise. You know what I mean? Like if you look at other cultures, they don't do that, right? They are allowed the opportunity to get better. Like if you know anything about martial arts, we actually created martial arts. But I know the world kind of see it or perceive it as as a thing that's produced by the Orient. So now in that thing, you watch the kung fu movie or something, it's the Shifu that is the best. He got his white hair, he didn't grew old, and he know all the styles. And he was able and afforded the opportunity to get better at the style. Now they turn around and look at us and say, well, no, you don't get a chance to be a Shifu, right? Now what that is in our culture is an OG. So that's why I got the two letters in front of my name. And I'm doing it like, fuck y'all, get the fuck out the house. I say what I want to say when I want to say it. You know what I mean? And it ain't no ending to it. I've been polishing my sword for a minute. So I've been pimping pens for a long time. And now the pens come back, bring me my money. So I ain't tripping. It's just, it's the Shifu in me. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
want
So that's,
I want
go
to
ahead,
ask you
come on,
something.
Brett.
Do you think that being a rapper is the most dangerous profession right now?
I think it probably is the most dangerous profession outside of signing up for some military. I mean, because in a way, this is the military. And, it's weird because it's another thing where why is it about our artistry that it has to become a violent area, right? this is what we'll think to ourselves is that we created or something wrong with our culture. And there is things that are wrong with the culture, but this is how it's been provided to us. This is systemic. So we see that reflected in the physical world too. So you go to any hood, you know what I mean, it's gonna be the same dilemma that you see in the music industry, right? Anybody jump on the mic, and next thing you know, everybody gotta cancel each other out. But we gotta come to the table and chop this money up. You know what I mean? And as long as we follow the instructions that they give us, we're gonna keep killing each other. And then boys ain't gonna be able to grow into what they can do. You feel me? The way I look at it, they tell me like, hey, you gotta have a particular audience. And the reason why they call me OG Scrap Daddy, the genre, is because I don't give a fuck about the audience they tell me I gotta aim for. They say you can only aim for 18 to 25. And it's like, hold up, all kind of people listen to hip hop. Oh man, you know what I mean? So everybody can get in. So I look at that and I try to target everybody. And then they can't lock me out the game and say, oh, okay, OG Scrap dropped this album and now they're gonna turn every nigga into Webster. Like the first album you drop or the first song you drop, just because you dropped the gangster album or a gangster song, now you gotta be that's the only thing you can drop now. They want you to turn into Gilligan and shit. You know what I'm saying? But OG Scrap are much more than that. You feel me? So I'm gonna hit boys with all different angles. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting boys with drill, Southside. I'm combining all these styles. You know what I'm saying? I give you some R&B. I give you some all type of shit. I'm gonna hit boys with some country, some Jamaican. I don't give a fuck. I am the genre. And they can't lock me out the game. I'm taking over the whole thing because I don't give a fuck and I want them to get out of our house. I appreciate that question, Cornbread, because that's something
No,
that fuck with me.
a real because they got people on the internet asking this or talking about this right now, just based
Uh-huh.
off the that's associated with rap music. But
Uh-huh.
I asked everybody this question, and I gotta ask you: does
Okay.
OG Rap have a top 5 best rappers?
Oh man, I'm gonna get me in trouble, man. But you know what? I do have a top five. At least I'm gonna try to put it out there. I mean, much love and respect to everybody doing their thing. I'm a fan of everybody who putting it down, man. If you're keeping it true and keeping it real. Um, but I'm gonna say I ain't gonna put them in no order, but Scarface, Pac, um, KRS-One, I think as far as spitting, man, I fuck with Andre 3000. And I'm gonna throw a name in there that may not be popular. But I'm gonna go with my fifth one, I'm gonna go and throw Lauryn Hill in there. Cause I like the way she connect to the spirit. You know what I mean? And she came out, she broke the game, and she came out and did some shit that nobody ever expected. And it kind of hurt her as far as the crowd, the whole mainstream audience. But you know what I mean, for people who are really into music, it ingratiated her to those people who love music. You know what I mean? So shout out to Lauryn Hill.
No doubt. Since we have crossed the threshold of 50 years in hip hop,
Uh-huh.
now people are going back and looking at certain eras. And I see that people say, they ask this question, what era was the best? I'm gonna ask you the question. Out of, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s, what do you think was the best era for hip hop music?
Um, I think I go somewhere a little bit sharing early 2000 and late 90s. You know what I'm saying? I share like from, you know what I mean, maybe from 97 to 2007. If I looked at it like that, you know what I mean? But I see the whole movement all connected together. You know what I'm saying? But if I just had and the reason why I'm saying that era is because I think that all of the styles were there in that era. And then over time, like we were just discussing, the industry kind of took away all the styles. So now you used to have somebody who was spitting something conscious, somebody who might have been doing something, for the ladies, or you know what I'm saying, for the broads. You had another nigga who was shooting somebody on the corner, another nigga that was hustling. So you had all these different things coming together at the table. So I appreciate that. I love that, and I love the way that that it was based right then. So we was able to build something on top of that. And so I'm gonna roll with that for my answer.
No doubt. We are both currently filming a movie right now. I want to ask you
Mhm.
how do you feel about the movies and how that's, what I'm saying, just kind of taking over all over around us, what I'm saying, if you
Mhm.
really get it. How do you feel about the movies?
Well, I there's some things I like about the movie movement right now, and some things I don't like about it. But I mean, overall, man, my message to everybody is keep on grinding. I'm a pugilist, eminent pugilist, honorable warrior. So my message to everybody is try to reach your highest potential. You know what I mean? Grind as hard as you can. But I like it because it was funny because for a little while I moved to Ghana, West Africa, and I was out there, and I noticed they had this movie movement out there where they would have like the main movies, but then they had like an underground movie movement. Like we have underground hip hop, and so they had movies that was like they would show like the village and shit like that. So I like what we doing now. When I got back to the States, I saw that movement starting where you had your major movies, but you also had your hood movies coming out too. So shout out to the whole movement, man, and everybody out there doing this entertainment. Man, shout out to Cornbread doing the podcast, man. All y'all out there on grind, man, stay on grind. You feel me? Because it will pay off. You feel me? All you gotta do is keep on grinding. You keep on digging. You know what I mean? You'll get the shovel, man. And that's what it do. So I like
Uh,
the movie.
do you plan on releasing any music this year?
Oh man, look here. We got I mean, speaking of the movie, me and I met Cornbread at the movie shoot. You know what I mean? It's my pleasure to meet this man, you feel me? And one of the homies, one of my dear friends, like, man, cuz do podcast and whoop de whoop, man, you need to fuck with it. So, you know what I mean? Shout out to Clover G Boss. He working on his movie, telling the story of his life and his big brothers. And when that come out, everybody gonna get it. So shout out to that, man. And everybody out there grinding in this whole industry, you know what I mean? If you working the camera, you taking pictures, you doing whatever, man, stay on grind. Hey, pedal to the metal.
No doubt, no doubt. Man, what can people expect from your music that you have coming up?
All right, well, I got Chunk and Deuces right now is out with Clover G Boss. Shout out to Lil Flip. Shout out to Clover G Boss, the Cloverland family. And we on that Chunk and Deuces. We got the Pass You By with the Outlaws, Young Noble, myself and Clover G Boss. We doubling that, so we doubling that on the single. You know what I mean? So the OG Scrap Daddy, that Chunk and Deuces, and that Pass You By. You know what I mean? Everybody go pick that up, and you'll be seeing a lot, and you'll be hearing a lot that's coming up soon. So I don't want to let too much out, but everybody go get that Chunk and Deuces and that Pass You By, and put that in your life, man. You're gonna love it. I tell you the truth, man. All Look here, all the superheroes and all the so-called gods got together, and they came down to the H time, and they had a chunking competition to see who could chunk the best, and it was impressive. You know what I mean? Zeus threw a lightning bolt like to a whole nother. He threw it out the universe, and Superman threw a star, and Black Panther threw a spear into another dimension. But I broke them all out because all I did was chunk the deuce.
All right.
You want to talk about?
Wanna ask um, if there was a young artist that maybe needed some guidance or
Yeah.
some type of you know, I guess roadmap to, what I'm saying, to help navigate his journey, what would you
Uh-huh.
tell? What advice would you give him?
Man, I tell him, I tell him to invest in himself. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the music. Don't get caught up in only the rhythm of life, man. Live it and invest in yourself. Right? You got to have. I mean, there's so many stages you go through to become, whatever it is you're trying to become. We have letters for a reason. If you're a YG, you still growing. Then when you're a BG, you growing into a YG. When you're a YG, you growing into a G. When you're a G, you growing into an OG. Every moment, every second of your life, you still growing. And you have to make an assessment of yourself, and be able to believe in yourself. So that's what I say. You know what I mean? Don't believe in what you're doing, believe in yourself. And then, you know what I mean? So along the way, if you invest in yourself, you may, like, I know a lot of niggas that come into the game rapping, but then they see what's going on behind the camera and they like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump behind the camera. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas come through spitting, next thing you know, they sending you a thought ass track. And they took the time out to sit there and fuck with the beat machine. They took the time out to put their camera up, and like you got all that shit on the wall back there and shit. That took time. You know what I mean? And that's a reflection of you loving yourself. So, in the game, like we said, like the way the game go, all these people in the game, then we regurgitate how we supposed to talk to each other. So then, oh nigga, what you doing? You think you doing something with a podcast, or you think you doing something with an album, or you think, you know what I'm saying? We start pulling each other down. But I say believe in yourself and stay grinding, man. That's the most pugilistic thing I could tell boys. You feel me? I mean, me personally, all my enemies formed together. You know what I mean? And they said I wasn't paying them, but I told them I had already told y'all wasn't gonna prosper.
I appreciate you taking the time out to holler at me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's very important that these messages, everything that's being said is being heard and is being put out there on a major scale because, aside from the music, aside from the movies, being heard at this level is very important as well because people get to hear and understand where our perspectives are, where our minds are, what our intentions are. So that's
Yeah,
very important. And I just want to
that's
say,
very
man,
important, man. I
I want
appreciate that, Cornbread.
I want to say I appreciate you for taking the time out to holler at me. Uh, Also for bestowing the wisdom and giving good game because I hope they was listening to it. And what I'm saying, shit, be on the lookout for his music and be on the lookout for this man in movies. You know what I'm saying?
Already
And,
ready. It's going down.
and on behalf of OG Scrap and the good
Hey,
people
let,
at
let me let me say this before we get out of here, Cornbread. Hey, everybody out there, man. Like I said, man, reach your reach your highest potential. Put God first. I want to shout out Hearn Clark. I want to shout out the APT man, Big Bo, OG Run, Big Rick, Al, Wayno, man. Shout out to the Dead End, Kennedy Heights. You know, I'm talking about OG Wayne, Sean Brooks, Trip. You feel me? Oak Dance. And all them boys out there on the dead end, all them boys on the south side, go get that St. James, support Vistoso bosses, go get that One Mic music, fuck with the Clover G boss, man, go get everything Clover G dropping. You know what I mean? Shout out to Terrell Park, shout out to Beaumont, my second home. You feel me? And that's where we ran into each other. You know what I mean? So y'all get out there and pick that shit up, man, and fuck with it, man. That St. Flames, that St. James. We live in the booth, man. We doing our thing, man. Hero, all y'all boys, man, at lower level. Go pick up that lower level, man, and support them and the pugilists, man. Gas Entertainment.
all right. On behalf of OG Scrap, I am Cornbread Capone, and this is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty in real hip hop music. And until next time, everybody, peace and love, because that's what the
Peace.
world needs. Major way
Deuces.
and love.